dreams that you had.
Oh my god. Oh, that noise. What's up, guys? We're back with another freaking video. But today, you guys have all been asking me, what the heck did you do to Blue? How did you rebuild her? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But everybody's wondering the magic question of how the heck did you rebuild it after crashing it 3 times? Well, the answer is quite simple. Magic. A little bit of Facebook Marketplace, a little bit of the dark web, you find a wizard. Wizard does it for you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But now, apparently we're going to some weird county cheese fair. I have no clue. I don't know. I couldn't explain it to you. Hang out with blonde girls and they start doing weird stuff. We're going to talk about Blue in depth because I know you guys have been wondering. Plus, it's almost a miracle. Trust me. After crashing my bike so bad, 2 of the 3 crashes were really bad. And I thought I definitely would have bent the frame or the motor would have got effed up. But we're still here, boys. She's still running and kicking somehow. But now, let me tell you what I did to her. Pretty much the whole process of the rebuild. Let's get into it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there's cars! I was gonna do a wheelie, sorry. Alright, you're gonna have to wait. It all started when I bought this bike, which is a 2018 R6, back in 2019. It was a leftover. Got this off the showroom floor. Dude, I love this bike. I love the new style. First time ever getting a Yamaha street bike. Needless to say, she was completely fine for about a year. Just was ridden on the highway.
Yeah, bro, come back!
Hard pulls. I was trying to learn how to corner. Then I went to the track. People kind of get it twisted because they think I ruined my bike by going to the track, and that's completely wrong. If anything, I have fine-tuned my bike through the track. That experience has allowed me, even through the crashes, has allowed me to pretty much end up in, you know, when I break something, I usually end up either upgrading it, or if it's a part that doesn't need to be upgraded, I just buy another one, which yes, that sucks. But I'm a firm believer, if it breaks, upgrade it. Even if you got to spend a little bit more money, I took that opportunity to... Oh my gosh, she's out. Back to what I was saying, through the track, I have fine-tuned my bike to my personal liking. No, it's not a full-blown race bike. That's expensive. But I do have a heavy amount of mods that I've done to this bike. Like, this bike is far from stock. Very much far from stock. I'm not doing inside work on the motor. I don't really want to. It's too long. She's staring. She's like, damn. She had that whole, that weird squint face with the licking your lips. I don't know if she was eating bread or something, but she was like staring at me. I don't know how I feel about it. I think Blondie's got some competition. Old lady might want me. Did you just almost fall? I saw that.
Okay.
I saw that. We're gonna leave the camera somewhere for you, boss. We'll see what you do. gotta pee. Crap. We're back. I'm fat and full. I want to take a nap. I sense that I need to do a wheelie, get some height back from this food coma. Oh, we both don't know where we're at. Awesome. First crash was a very bad crash. Totally yard sailed my butt. Totally yard sailed this thing. There goes my day. We're good. And it was insane because that was the moment where I was like, okay, like, do I buy another bike or do I rebuild it? And I rebuilt it. That required a lot of work, but I rebuilt it as a track bike. As you guys know, we like to smile and believe, baby. So don't forget that. We ran with a little fierce look. Cut a few things, lost a few things, took a lot of BS off, turned this into a track bike. I did actually miss riding the bike on the street purely for the, I guess, looks. Not so much the speed, but really just the looks, as well as photo shoots and Instagram content. And that's honestly what I miss this bike for. I don't know why, but I mean, some people love stars, some people are just not a fan and they love this. I don't get the difference, but as much as you guys miss Blue, I did too, because I was only riding her once or twice a month, and that's terrible. That's a no-go. After the second crash, you guys still don't know about the second crash. You will find out about the second crash. I still have the video. I'll post it when I'm ready. That one wasn't too much. That was about $1,000 of fixing things. After that, I had the third crash, and the third crash was the one where I broke my wrist. And that one was a spicy one. That one is the one that I broke the forks, the triple trees. I snapped all of that. I had a broken case on the right side. That's what I'm talking about. That doesn't sum up everything I've done to this bike since I've gotten it, since after this last crash. Let's go to a place where I can actually show you and explain everything. Is Ryan here? Ryan? Yo, man. What's going on? Good. What fork oil would you recommend for the FC?
For you?
Yeah, I'm doing the seals. I've been jumping it too much.
I would go at least 10 weight.
Okay, I think...
Not because of your weight.
Well, yeah.
You're riding.
But what happens if I go a little bit heavier?
It's just going to be stiffer.
What about 20?
Well, I don't know. You thicker?
Would it work?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're not going to do any damage. It's just going to be slower. You know, just slower rebound, slower compression.
I'm not tracking the bike. It's a stump bike. I'll go 20. A lot of it. You know what I mean? So I want to do bigger jumps. That's the funnier part, so... Oh, wait. Wrong bike. That one. That's the one you came to see. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that little bit. If you made it this far in the video, first, make sure you like it. Leave me a comment down below. Give me your thoughts. Do you think I should have did something different with this build? If you're not already subscribed, make sure you're subscribed and make sure you hit that bell notification so you know when I upload. Since the crash, there's probably around 5 parts that I have put on. I made a whole list right there on Star of everything I've done to it. Yeah, that looks pretty juicy, don't it? It's a lot. It's a lot. I have done a lot to this bike and I didn't even realize it until now. But let's get into it. I'll tell you what I've done recently after the last crash where I broke my wrist. Insert video now. Oh, my wrist. Don't tell me you're broken. Don't tell me you're broken. Whew. Come on. I got work tomorrow. I can't be going to the hospital.
Yeah, it sucks, but we made her beautiful. Again, it doesn't stop. She goes down 3 times and still looks freaking gorgeous. To start off, I did need throttle cables, which these were broke right here. The big thing is when the bike kept on, it threw me off. The bike actually stood back up, never actually fell, and kept going straight. And it went into the forest, as you guys saw, but what you guys didn't see, nor did I see it, it went straight into a tree, which caused it to halt immediately. The after effects, I don't know if they're still there. They are. Can you see? You see that? That's the front wheel touching the headers. That was the damage that was caused. That wheel should never touch the headers. So what happened was the front wheel snapped the triple trees because the forks wanted to go this way. I don't even know if my last set of forks was actually bent or it just snapped the triple trees, but I didn't wait around to find out. What we did was we actually swapped it out for R1 forks, which riding it right now, I can't tell if there's a massive difference, but for some reason, something tells me the rebound is a little bit stiffer. It does work, it rides. I think I have to adjust it one more time, but aside from that, we got new triple trees and we got new forks. They are R1 forks, and these things are working out. It handles roughly the same. I want to get it adjusted by a professional. It rides like an R6, if not a little bit better. It's a weird thing to say. Once I did that, all my tank pads were messed up, and this is one thing I kind of live by. If I am riding a bike, right, and I'm suited up and I'm going into corners aggressively, I need these. These are tank pads. These save my wrists, save my hand from any additional pain. Under heavy braking, it helps my body not slide forward and put all my weight on my actual handlebars, but keeps my butt back because I can squeeze my legs against the tank and hold myself back. Especially with an R6 that has such an aggressive angle and pushes you here, right? This is where my kids die. This is where the kids die. It's happened. You guys know, if you watch the old moto vlogs, you know it's happened. We even talked about inventing a pillow tank cover. We thought about wrapping a pillow right here. I thought of it all. One of the big portions that I was actually waiting for this whole, that made the process kind of long, is I had to send out my quick shift. And essentially the first version that I had, there was a security issue with just Yamaha. I think it was just R6s, but it basically was the ECU and the quick shifter kind of button heads, and it would cause it to false trigger. But now that I have the V2, basically I had to send it out. They sent it to the manufacturer. Shout out to Scott at Moto D, because he made that all happen. And now I have the version 2. I believe that I'm still coming across this issue right now, just with my rear sets, which are, while we're here, we're talking about it. I have Woodcraft rear sets, and the issue here is just the way that they're set up. My rod is actually touching. I think on the left-hand turns, it vibrates and basically sends a false signal there. The way that I need to fix it is basically I just need to get into the settings on the actual module over here, turn down the sensitivity a little bit so it doesn't get triggered by that, but more so my forceful movement of my actual foot hitting, if you know what I mean. While I was at it, we had some nasty scars, not on the frame, surprisingly not. All 3 crashes did not affect the frame, did not affect the motor, which was a very good thing. Swing arm was included as well. So I did want to just kind of spice it up, so I threw a little bit of carbon here, threw a little bit of carbon here, threw a little carbon there. The most obvious thing is I took off the track bearings because they were kind of destroyed. Luckily, I won these in a giveaway from ABS. We did our own styling. Guys, this is wrap. I don't know how many times I gotta tell you, but that is a wrap. I prefer to kind of wrap all my bikes because, I mean, yes, it doesn't actually like hold up as good as paint. And of course I would want to paint, but wrapping basically is I can create my own design. I've done this I've wrapped my bike 3 times and I've liked the outcome every single time because I can create it my own way and a different way that stands out from every single other bike out there. And you guys know that. Let's talk performance, right? You guys have probably all wondered. Now, I forget the numbers, but I do want to say I'm pushing about Who was calling me right now?
5 minutes later.
That's the ultimate question. Take this with a grain of salt, but I do believe that Blue is actually pushing, I want to say 113 to the wheels. Last time I had it on a dyno, and that was at Boss Racing. This bike is tuned. Actually, I don't want to say tuned, but it is flashed by Boss Racing. They did throw it on the dyno for a couple runs. That was after my first crash. They flashed it. We had it flashed, and then I had a second time there. They fixed it, and then they ran it on the dyno just to make sure everything was straight and there was no other actual issue. The only thing I actually really have done to actually pretty much boost up my performance, I do want to say, is just my air filter. Now I have a Sprint P08 filter, which I heard is insane for these R6s. It really opened up the bike when I did just put that in there. Then I did the flash and I was like, holy crap, this feels like another bike. I ride this thing in standard most of the time because I do ride it on the street. But when I go to the track, I'm either in standard, or if I'm feeling good, my throttle control is feeling good, if my hand is pretty much warmed up, very smooth movements, I go to A mode, because A mode is just, it's that the power is definitely there. The throttle response is so crisp in A, but it's more of a track thing. You know what I mean? You don't want to be so touchy on the street. I don't need to be sitting at 160 miles an hour. I'm not racing anybody on straights. I wanted a little bit more bottom end. The R6s, these bikes are insane up top. They have so much yelling room that they just scream for their life. And when you bang through the gears, the power is just there, and it never goes away. But bottom end sometimes can hit you. What I did is I jumped up 2 teeth in the rear, so I went from a 43 tooth to a 45 tooth rear sprocket, and then I had a new front sprocket. Going up 2 teeth in the rear really brought the bottom end alive, and that was huge. And I've never told all you guys this stuff, no, but I've never done a build series on this bike. And I think with my next bike, I think I'm gonna do a build series. My bike is one of the faster 600s. Now granted, there is a million other 600s out there that would smoke this, but when it comes down to it, from what I've done, this bike really does excel. And granted, a lot of that is from the factory and it being a 2018 R6, but nevertheless, again, this bike isn't, it's a powerhouse compared to a lot of other 600, aka like, let's say this one will take it all day long. Sorry, Day, I don't mean to trash on your 600, but should have bought an R1. Now you guys do know, back to revisit the quick shifter right there. The quick shifter is one of those things for the track that just makes life 100 times easier. It doesn't exactly make your times faster, but what it does is it allows your mind to focus on other things so that you don't need to focus on that clutch at all. The quick shifter with the auto blip, so that means I can clutchless upshift and downshift. I have it in GP shift. I have it flipped because that's currently how I like the bike set up on, and especially on the track. Or if you're interested in it, it's one of those things that if you buy, listen, bear warning, if you buy one of these, right? You buy a quick shifter or an auto blip. My friend Khaki Tom told me simply, he says, once you have it, you're never gonna wanna ride a bike without it. And it's 100% true. When you realize how easy and how nice this is, I go into corners and I don't need to think about rev matching. I don't, I just click up, that's it. And it automatically rev matches. I get into the gear I want and I'm already focused on getting my body position and set, and I don't need to think about unsettling the bike. It's not what I want right now, but I'm running it. I have stainless steel headers from Cobra, and I had a Cobra slip-on, but it blew up. Technically, I crashed on it, it broke, I tried to fix it, and then it literally blew up. I have the Acura Megaphone, which was my first exhaust when I got this bike. Now, one thing, if you do want to protect your bike, you do want to make sure that you get some case covers. These probably would be one of the bigger things, because if you do drop this bike on the side, imagine you drop it, you tear apart your case to your engine. Case covers, I have Woodcraft right here. These I do forget who they are from. This is the Lifesaver. Lifesaver saves you. I don't know how else to put it. You need this on like every bike. Go buy one. Do it. Just do it. Probably one of my favorite parts on this bike, probably my braking system. I did the braking system right after my first track day because I started getting brake fade and it was really bad, and I was like, I never want to go into turn 1 and not be able to stop myself and go straight off the track. Because of that, the first thing is ABS had to go. Under here, there is a module. I took all the lines out. I had to get steel braided lines that were non-ABS. I did not actually add a ABS delete module. I just capped off the module. So I don't have an ABS light. It's like fooling a system, basically. It's a cheap man's way of getting around it. The braking force on this bike never fails to amaze me how fast you can actually stop on this thing. You know, every other bike I've owned has never had brakes like this. And it's not like I have Brembo freaking calipers. I don't. You can go as fast as you want, but you also need to know how to stop, especially if you ride on the street and it's an emergency, or even the track. You know what I mean? Someone crashes right in front of you, you need to get on your brakes. What I did is steel braided lines. Like I said, this is all from Golfer. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but these guys helped me out and pretty much guided me through the whole thing. But the front, I got semi-metallic. I believe they're semi-metallic, but they are the race pads. Basically, they kind of wear away a little bit faster, but I don't ride the bike too much. The bite on them is insane. But to make the feeling feeling better, I had to go Passato. And this Master is a 19 by 18, and the feeling basically has smoothed it out. So before I had the OEM one, and basically it felt like no brakes, brakes. And that's what the old Master felt like. Now it's like anytime I touch it, I'm already, this is engaged at a certain percentage, a very low percentage, but it's there and I can feel that. And if you're learning how to trail brake, this is key. This is key. If you have a bike that's no brake and then all brakes and there's really no in between, you need that smooth feeling. When I wanted to learn how to trail, I had to buy this because I felt like it was very much stopping me. This really helped allow me to understand and start taking my steps further as a rider and my braking, because braking is just as important as leaning. It's just as important as going fast in a straight line. And I never knew that until the track. To pair with that, I do have a driven brake reservoir. Not really important, but it's there. After the first crash, I did do Vortex clip-ons, and the clip-ons are kind of important. If you can't adjust your bars, it actually might be very much beneficial to you. It's not really too expensive. It might be hard for you to tell. They are adjusted outwards. Normally, maybe they sit like here. I have pushed them out. So I have a very wide angle, but when I'm going into my corners, it helps me because my shoulders are kind of out. I'm going from straight within it to coming out here and really just grabbing the end. And I'm still working on it. I am still working on it. I'm not a freaking professional, as you guys freaking know. No, I'm a content creator. I'm not a racer. So I did not want to roll them. I wanted a thin grip. They were just too bulky. I felt like my hand was wrapped around. I wanted a smaller grip. So I bought the smallest grip I could find, which was a Renthal. And by it being smaller, it takes less of my hand. Don't take this the wrong way. I don't want to hear no freaking memes, because I'm not going to hold around a bulky thing. Okay, I'm done talking about this. You guys get the point, but I just don't want to put my hand. I feel like you guys are judging me, so like, not that I care, but like, we're not doing that. So next, of course, I got an ASV lever because I did not want the shorty Chinese ones that I had. I do have a DB stay front, which is technically a race stay front, but I made it work. Quick action release from Moto D, which is very simple. Now the carbon tank, this is from SE Moto. This is a extender. This is not what R6s look like. You can see the angle, that's not at all what the angle of the tank normally is. But what this does is this is an extended tank, so basically my legs stay in place more often. It also keeps me pushed back more. Of course, one of the first things I did when I got this bike was delete the mirrors. I have a zero gravity double bubble. Wow, I have done a lot. First crash, I did mess up my coolant reservoir tank, so I had to get a Motion Pro one, which is actually pretty neat. It just kind of fits in here. You kind of make it work. I also have Moto D caps here underneath, safety wired right now, and I have to safety wire my dipstick, which was the cause of my third crash, of me breaking my wrist. That actually came loose somehow, some way, but it was tight the night before. Crazy things happen, don't care, we're over it. The only thing that you really can't see is I have a lightweight battery, which is a massive difference from the OEM battery as far as weight. Other than that, that's really everything with the bike. Right now I'm running Super Corsa V3s on it. I don't have an opinion right now. They do stick, but I need to feel them on a very hot day. Yes, I have little chicken strips. This is a 180/60, which helps me flip-flop. The stock size is 180/55. So on the 60s, they're actually taller, more of a balloon shape, so to speak, and not so much flat. Now you guys understand everything I've done to this bike, which is a lot. Do you think I should have done something different? Still kind of a track bike, but it's street legal. That's kind of what I had to shoot for. I think I covered everything on the bike. That was a lot. Was that a lot? Do you guys think I should do anything else? Should you also sub and then go watch one of my other videos? That's the ultimate question. But I love you. If you're not hyped, get hyped, stay hyped. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.